Welcome everybody. It's Kyle Henderson, BamaInsider.com. Thursday, September 20th. It's Texas A&M week. We got a great show coming up for you right here on BamaInsider.com. The live stream. Going to open the line in a few minutes, 205-686-3604. Today on the show, we're going to be talking a little bit of Heisman watch for Tua Tagovailoa. We're going to be talking Nick Saban's presser. I'll pipe in that in just a few minutes to get the party started. Show you offensive and defensive stats going into week 4. Alabama, in case you missed it, 26-point favorite against the visiting Texas A&M Aggies. Game will be at 2:30 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Nick Saban's calling for a packed house for the best opponent Alabama has played thus far. Going to also show you some offensive and defensive grades overall for the team, courtesy of Pro Football Focus. And we're going to talk your scoring predictions, and we're going to take your calls on 205-686-3604. Kyle Henderson from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for liking our YouTube page. Be sure and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you guys want to see on our YouTube channel. And, of course, we'll have Nick Saban's press conference following the game, along with player interviews and much more coverage on BamaInsider.com. And before we get moving forward, there's a big list of weekend visitors. We're talking official weekend visitors. Wandale Robinson is one of them. Kayvon Thibodeau and Andrew Bone will follow up tomorrow with his own show, our recruiting show, which will be tomorrow. So be sure and tune into that. Let's get into Nick Saban's press conference right now, and we'll let everybody get all situated in, and then we'll get rolling. All right, here's Nick Saban. This was actually on Monday. Here we go.
I think it's important that, our players understand that we're playing a really good team this week in Texas A&M. Jimbo's done a really good job there. They've got really good players in a lot of positions on both sides of the ball and special teams. Obviously, that was pretty much the indication when they played Clemson. Probably had arguably a lot of opportunities to win the game, and at the end it didn't really work out for them. But they're 5th in the country in total offense. Quarterback is playing really, really well, and one of the leaders in our conference in terms of efficiency and effectiveness in passing the ball. They got great balance. The running back, Ravion Williams, is probably leads our league in rushing. So they have great balance on offense. Their defense has really played well so far, ranked in one of the top 20 in most categories in the country. The punter is really, really outstanding. So this is a really good team that we're playing, the best team that we've played so far, and really going to be important that we do a good job in preparation all week and getting ready for a big game.
Coach, welcome. Ben over here on the right.
Can you ever notice a difference in a team's personality after a coaching change like Texas A&M's had this offseason?
Well, I think everybody that takes over a program is really working hard to establish the principles and values of the organization. The standard that you want people to work to in terms of effort, toughness, intangibles, discipline, things like that. And Jimbo obviously has done a really good job of that. They're a completely different kind of team than they've been in the past. There's a lot of regular. They run the ball. They try to run the ball. Really good play-action passes, but still have a lot of elements of spread, and they're a very effective passing team.
Coach, we'll go in the middle with Michael.
Just wonder, where have you seen progress from Jalen Hurts as a passer this season?
Well, I think Jalen has certainly improved in the pocket. There's no doubt about that. There's never been any question about his arm talent. It's always been, making decisions, choices, second reads, that type of thing, which I think he's really made a lot of improvement on. And I think when he's done those things, he's had really good success. And I think consistency and continuing to do those things is the key to him in the future.
All right, that was Nick Saban actually on Monday. Wednesday's press conference, it was short and sweet. It was about 5 minutes. Didn't really even touch on Texas A&M. If you're just joining us, thank you. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. You can catch all our coverage back on BamaInsider.com. Big list of weekend visitors from Andrew Bone. He's got all that information back on BamaInsider.com. If you're curious about being a premium subscriber, be sure and look for the free 30 days. I wanted to show you guys, as we move forward, I wanted to go over the offensive and defensive stats going into this week, and have the offensive stats right here, which I'm going to pull up. As you can see, we'll start at the top left with Najee Harris leading the team in rushing. He's actually got a really good grade from Pro Football Focus. We'll talk about that later on in the show. 30 attempts for a net gain of 203 yards with 3 touchdowns. Damian Harris not too far behind, 24 carries, 178 yards with 1 touchdown. Tua actually third on the team in rushing with 14 carries for 106 yards. Brian Robinson, the Tuscaloosa native, racking up 90 yards. Looks like beast mode every time he gets the ball, in my opinion. And Joshua Jacobs with 17 carries for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had that big showing against Louisville. Like to see Josh Jacobs get the football a little bit more. I mean, I think he's so dynamic, but as you can see, there's so many mouths to feed on Alabama's offensive unit. Quarterback-wise, Tua Tagovailoa, look at that efficiency, 233.33, 72% passing, 36 of 50 on the season, no interceptions, 8 touchdowns, 79 yards being the longest, hooking up with Jerry Jeudy on one of those touchdown passes. The two have connected for, I believe, 5 this season. Jalen Hurts, 19 of 28 with 1 interception, 67.9 percentage, 248 yards and 4 touchdowns. Receiving-wise, Jerry Jeudy, 11 receptions, 287 yards, 6 touchdowns, which is incredible through 3 games. Devontae Smith next on the team with 10 receptions, 204 yards, and 1 touchdown. Irv Smith, who was actually targeted in last game 6 times, 9 receptions, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Irv Smith is quite the weapon. On the top right, you have punt returns. Jalen Waddle, 7 returns, 111 yards. Would have had that touchdown if it wasn't for a block in the back call. Interceptions, you have Deontay Thompson with 2 on the season, Savion Smith, Xavier McKinney, Shaheem Carter. Each of those guys has returned their interception for a touchdown. I want to show you defensive grades now. This is going into week 4. Deontay Thompson, through 3 games played, has 15 total tackles and leads the team, and as I mentioned, also has 2 interceptions, getting high praise from people all over the country that he's one of the best safeties in the country. I think we knew that going in, but to really see him doing it on the field has really been exceptional. Quinnen Williams actually graded out as the highest player in Pro Football Focus. Has 14 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, has really got after the quarterback, has 3 quarterback hurries. Xavier McKinney has been playing lights out at the safety position as well. 13 total tackles, returned that interception for a touchdown. In week 3, Mack Wilson has 12 tackles at the inside linebacker position, followed by Dylan Moses, who is also a middle linebacker. Isaiah Buggs, 9 total tackles. Savion Smith and Raekwon Davis, each with 9, followed by Markel Benton and Christian Miller. Miller was actually named the defensive SEC MVP of this last week with recording 2 sacks against Ole Miss. If you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Talking Alabama versus Texas A&M. It's a big matchup, and Nick Saban has said going into this matchup that it's going to be the toughest team that they've played. Now, remember, Texas A&M went toe-to-toe with Clemson, who's another top-ranked team. That score was 28-26, and if you rewind to the early 2000s, Jimbo Fisher actually coached with Nick Saban from 2000 to 2006, I believe. Those are the years Nick Saban was at LSU. He was Nick Saban's offensive coordinator. The two actually met last year when Jimbo Fisher was the head coach at Florida State. Alabama came out on top on that one, 24-7. Interesting stats for Nick Saban going up against former assistant coaches that have now become head coaches. Check this out. Alabama's matchup against Texas A&M will be the 13th time that Nick Saban has faced a former assistant as head coach. Nick Saban is 12-0 in those contests last year, as I mentioned, defeating Jimbo Fisher when he was with Florida State 24-7. More on Nick Saban. Nick Saban has 77 victories against AP top 25 teams. Former Penn State head football coach Joe Paterno leads with 86 victories. Texas A&M is ranked 22 in the country. Friendly confines of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama has won their last 35 of 36 games playing at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The last loss comes on September 19th, 2015 against Ole Miss. Before that, Alabama had not lost a home game since 2012. Going to open the line in just a minute, 205-686-3604. I wanted to talk to you real quick, as I mentioned, about the official visitors that are coming in to Tuscaloosa. We got a big list, over 40 guys coming to Tuscaloosa. If you want to be a premium subscriber and learn which guys are coming at the priority level, then head on over to BamaInsider.com. Look for the free 30 days. Sign up for your premium subscription. This is inside info, which I'm going to give you guys right here. Just a quick little taste, and you can catch, like I said, all that stuff on BamaInsider.com. But look, check this out. This is premium info. Official visitors: Kayvon Thibodeau, Wan'Dale Robinson. He's a 4-star. Thibodeau's a 5-star. Marcus Banks is a 3-star. Other names to know: Clay Webb, George Pickens, Nakobe Dean. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, Andrew Bone will have his own recruiting show tomorrow on BamaInsider.com. And it's going to be really exciting to see, especially a player like Kayvon Thibodeau and Wan'Dale Robinson, to get their thoughts on Tuscaloosa after, they get a taste of a home game at Bryant-Denny Stadium. That game will be on Saturday at 2:30. Going to open the lines in just a minute. Also, I want to make sure I run down my list. I wanted to show you guys the offensive and defensive grades over these last games. So let me bring that up for you guys. Give me 1 second. And I like the grades. I like to, get an overview of the grades, and these are from Pro Football Focus. So let me line these up for you guys. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, what you're seeing right now is you're seeing the offensive grades. Let's see. Sorry about that. These are the offensive grades, which you're going to see on the right-hand side. Jonah Williams, obviously having a really big season for Alabama with the 89.2 grade out. Ross Piersbacher, he has a 69.1. And remember, he has this is his first year starting at the center position, taking over for Bradley Bozeman, who was a seasoned veteran at the center position. Alex Leatherwood, 66.2. Jedrick Wills, 68.6. Maybe that right side of the line is a little bit sophomoric, if you will, with both of those guys being in their second year of play. Lester Cotton having a very good year. Nobody really talks about Lester Cotton, but he's very solid. Grade out of 76.6. Now, Pro Football Focus, how this all works is there's actually pro scouts that grade these players on a very tough grading scale. So the higher the grade, the better the player as they've played through 3 games. Jerry Jeudy has had an exceptional year, graded out at 85.7, if you can believe that. The total number that you see in the middle, that's the total of snap counts that they've had this year. So Jerry Jeudy has played 115 snaps, has a grade out of 85.7. Tua Tagovailoa, check that out, 92.6, just incredible considering he's only seen 108 snaps. Obviously, we're going to see much more of him, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can continue this high level of play. I mean, there's no reason to really doubt that because what he's added to Alabama has simply been another element of excellence, drive. I mean, the team is simply on fire with him at the helm. Irv Smith, as I mentioned earlier, has been having a really big year. I think he's a really dynamic tight end, a guy that can both block and make plays downfield. 83.4 grade out. Hell Hintage, who also starts, has a 59.5. Now, Hell Hintage, what I like about him is he's a good downfield blocker, but I think Irv Smith just has that playmaking ability at the tight end position, which I think everybody really likes. Jalen Waddle, in his first year, 69.3. Jalen Hurts, 72.5. Najee Harris, actually the highest graded running back on Alabama right now with the 80.8. And then Damian Harris at 72.6. Those are your offensive grades. Let me show you the defensive grades. And just format that for you guys real quick. All right, these are the defensive grades for Alabama through 3 games. Deontay Thompson, I mean, it's incredible to have a 94 flat after 3 games. Actually, the highest player on the team, if you scroll down, is Quinnen Williams. So the top 3 players right now straight up for Alabama are based on Pro Football Focus's grades: Quinnen Williams, Deontay Thompson, then Tua Tagovailoa. Xavier McKinney, as you can see, he's been having a really big year. Trayvon Diggs, I've seen a lot of progress out of him. I think we all have. Mac Wilson, 66.7. And Dylan Moses is down there as well. I mean, the linebackers haven't really been graded out that high, to be honest. Patrick Surtain getting a ton of reps. Look at that. He's played in 144 snaps his freshman season, 65.9. I think we're going to see that number improve. Raekwon Davis, Alabama 6'7", 315-pound defensive end, 74.8. Shaheem Carter has also looked great this year. And even though Savion Smith got pulled last game, going up against some really big wide receivers on the season, he's 71.7 grade out. As I mentioned, Dylan Moses and Mac Wilson, not the grades that we quite were expecting right now going into week 4, but we'll probably see improvement for those guys. I mean, I think they've been doing a great job on the field aside from these grades. And Christian Miller down there, 71.1, and LeBron Ray, who's been a very pleasant. I think LeBron Ray, I can't wait to see more of him. 71.3, and then Markel Benton, who I think has really stepped up along with Joshua McMillan at 73.9. Thanks for joining us on the show. If you're just coming in, this is Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. I'm going to open up the line. I want to take your calls, and I want to talk some Alabama football with you. Call-in number is posted, and the line is open. So go ahead and give me a call, 205-686-3604. I want to talk to you about this weekend's matchup. I want to get your score prediction to see what you think is going to happen this weekend between Alabama and Texas A&M. You think Alabama's going to continue roll? We got our first caller. All right, here we go. All right, good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. You're on the line. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is DJ from Ohio.
Hey, what's up, DJ? Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate your support, man. What you got, man? You're on the line. Go ahead, shoot.
What's going on? I think our linebackers just been playing, like our middle linebackers just been playing okay. But I think this week they're going to have their biggest game and hold Texas A&M running back to his lowest total this year.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. I'll answer on the other line, okay? I'm going to hang up. But thanks for the call, DJ. I appreciate it. You're a strong supporter, man.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
All right, yeah, just as DJ said, I think we're going to see more from these linebackers. This weekend they're taking on Texas A&M and Trayvon Williams, as Nick Saban said earlier in the press conference, one of the top running backs, or at least on paper, in the SEC. Now, obviously, Alabama's running backs probably all better than him, but it should present challenges, or at least get these guys ready for bigger backs as we move forward later on in the schedule. Guys like, players from LSU and Auburn. I think both of that group has some very strong running backs. So it'll be interesting to see how the middle linebackers fare. Anthony Jennings, I think, has a ways to go, but he's been showing a lot of progression. I was kind of nervous just because he was coming off an injury, but been surprised with him. All right, good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Kyle, how's it going, man? It's Julian calling from Fort Hood, Texas.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going tonight?
Pretty good. I got a question, man. Do you think that Jalen's I know he needs to play to help him develop and show the nation that he is developing, but do you think that him playing for the portions of the games that he is hurting Tua with the Heisman?
Well, I appreciate the call. All
right.
That's a good question because is it? I mean, there's kind of two ends to this. Number one, Alabama hasn't needed Tua an entire game.
Correct.
I'll go ahead and answer on the other line. I'll hang up with you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. I don't think, Alabama hasn't needed Tua in these first 3 weeks, right? The entire game. Why risk continuing to put him out there if he gets hurt? I think we all know that Tua is polished. He's ready. And if he needed to go 4 quarters or the entire game, Nick Saban, I don't think, is going to waste reps on getting Jalen better when clearly Tua is the better quarterback and Tua is the guy that you wanted the job. I think it is also important to get Jalen reps because you never know down the road. It's a long season, right? It's a long season. So I think you got to get your backup quarterback reps. You got to get them fresh, and that includes Mac Jones. You got to get Mac Jones reps as well. So I don't think, it's hurting Tua's position to win the Heisman or to be even in the Heisman Trophy talk. And we'll talk about some Heisman Trophy odds later on in the show. But right now, Tua is the odds-on favorite per every casino to win the Heisman Trophy in just the amount of reps that he's played. He's going to play more as we go forward. Eventually, he's going to just be the guy for 4 quarters. But until anyone can really stop Alabama, I think you get Tua his reps, you get him his yards, and you develop these other quarterbacks, and you keep Tua healthy, most importantly. 205-686-3604. Give me a call. I want to talk Alabama football with you. Get your predictions for this week against Texas A&M. Alabama is a 26-point favorite. Tua Tagovailoa is the odds-on favorite right now to win the Heisman Trophy. It's way out. We are so far away from even being in New York talking about the Heisman, but the way Tua is playing right now, pretty lights out. It's pretty incredible. Check this out. Tua Tagovailoa at the helm. Through 3 games in 2018, Tua Tagovailoa has directed 20 drives as a Tide starting quarterback, with 14 resulting in touchdowns and 1 culminating in a field goal. In those drives, the Tide's offense is 15 of 19 on third down conversions, accounting for 1,024 yards and 108 snaps for an average of 9.5 yards per play and 99 out of 150 points scored by the Alabama offense. Check this out. Third down is Tua time in third down passing situations. Through 3 games this season, Tagovailoa is 13 of 13 for 298 yards with 6 touchdowns and has a quarterback rating, get this, 444.86. It's pretty incredible what he's doing. And this is another item I wanted to bring out. Drives under 1 minute for Alabama. 7 of the Crimson Tide's 20 touchdown drives this season have lasted less than 1 minute. 3 of those have lasted less than 50 seconds. So you're talking about a quick strike offense under the best quarterback in college football, and Tua is just letting it sling. All right. Good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling from?
What's up, Kyle? It's Mitch from Hawaii.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going in Hawaii today?
It's good, man. It's perfect. Nice and sunny. I see a little bit of humidity. So.
Hey, what you thinking about the game this weekend?
Well, I think it's going to be a better game than the last 3 weeks. That's for sure. You know, I think Texas A&M is a pretty good opponent. Let's just say that. You know, great coaching. They know what to expect. Obviously, everybody knows what to expect from Alabama, but I just feel like athlete-wise and athletic-wise and personnel-wise, I think that there'll be a better match for Alabama, but it'll still be a runaway score for sure.
Yeah, 26-point favorite for Alabama. What have you thought of Tua's play? I mean, the obvious is he's been playing out of this world, but if you could, kind of, summarize what you've seen and maybe how proud you are just being from Hawaii and seeing Tua really play at this level. It's really been exceptional.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just he's getting better. Let's just say that, every day he's out there and every day that he's around a program like Alabama. He already has talent. We all know that already, and then he's done a whole bunch of stuff since he was a kid. But he's also still learning and developing and getting better. And hats off to Alabama for allowing him or coaching him up to be better. So I'm proud. Everyone's proud here, and I didn't say this the last time talking to you, but I was fortunate enough to be around him in high school and stuff like that when I was coaching up at the same high school that he went to and stuff. So my brother and I. But I didn't want to say that earlier, the last time I talked to you.
What do you think about
so there's a growth. There's a lot of growth. Just watching him sit in the pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing all of that stuff and being patient and having him check down to like the number 3 receivers. It's so awesome to see. And again, I told you the last time I talked to you, I said, you haven't seen nothing yet. And am I right? Is it getting better? Do you think in your mind?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I every time that we see Tua, he's obviously progressing. And I think you brought up a good point. If you watch his eyes from different camera angles, the way that he reads progression is he looks down progression 1, 2, 3, and the throws that he can make on a dime. I mean, it's NFL level type stuff, and it's truly a joy to see him hook up with his receivers. I wanted to ask you before we go, what do you think of Talia? Because Talia has been balling out here in Alabama, threw for 500 yards last Friday night. Usually, check this out. I've been covering sports for a long time. Usually, and I know you guys are going to say I'm crazy right now. Usually, the younger brothers are better than the older brothers. Tell me your thoughts on, or give me your thoughts on Talia.
Yeah, I mean, the past has shown that you're absolutely right that the younger brothers do evolve, a little bit more. Why? Because being 2 or 3 years younger, they grow so much as far as being around the older brothers because they started younger. What he has on Tua is 2 years. I'm not even sure if it's 2 or 3 years younger. That's what he has over Tua, obviously, right? Because of the age. Because everything that Tua's doing, as far as drills, reps, throws, all of that, Taulia's doing it. And the difference between him and Tua is Taulia's 2 or 3 years younger. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We owe all of that. All of us owe that to his upbringing, his father, because they've been doing this for a long, long time. I cannot tell you enough. I always say they've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not. All kidding aside, like I said, when people are sleeping, those two are working. They're working. They're so strong-minded. Their family and the core values of their family and what they believe in. They believe in each other and they believe in themselves and they believe in their abilities. So you put all of that into perspective as far as Thompson High School and Alabama, with a great supporting cast. Tua could be throwing for 800 yards. I'm not joking, bro. If the play calling, if Nick Saban's not a run up the score kind of guy, and obviously everybody on that team needs reps. Yep. These are all 5-star kids, so they all need to get in and get reps against a great team like Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying? So it's Nick Saban's so smart because he's developing these other guys off the bench to be better when crucial times hit and in the fourth quarter and somebody goes down, next man up, they're going to be ready. Getting back to Taulia, that's all I got to say is he's 3 years younger doing sort of the same things that Tua's doing. So,
hey, Mitch.
Hallelujah for Alabama, man. Hallelujah.
Hey, Mitch, I appreciate the call. And before I let you go, will you guys, because I want to support the Hawaiian community. You guys have been so good to me. Will somebody send me a lei? Email me at Kyle at Bama Insider. I want to have like a Hawaiian lei that I wear on my next show. So will you have one of your friends hook me up and send me something authentic?
How can I send? Is on your website or whatever? Do I just go on your podcast?
My email is Kyle at BamaInsider.com. Is that cool?
Kyle, one more time.
Kyle at BamaInsider.com.
Perfect. I'll send you a lei, brother.
Cool, man. Thank you so much, Mitch.
For sure. All
right, man. All right, take it easy, buddy. Aloha.
Okay, aloha.
All right, good stuff. 205-686-3604. Developing a nice little Hawaiian following thanks to Tua and his success here at Alabama. Want to hear your thoughts on this weekend's game? 205-686-3604. Give me a call. Want to talk with you about this dominating Alabama team taking on Texas A&M and inside the series between Alabama and Texas A&M. The two will meet for the 11th time on Saturday. The Crimson Tide lead the series 8-2 and won last year 27-19 in College Station, Texas. Alabama is riding a 5-game winning streak against the Aggies, including Alabama's home win over the Aggies 33-14 in 2016. As I mentioned, Jimbo Fisher used to coach under Nick Saban from 2000 to 2006. Been a lot of forced turnovers for Alabama. Alabama's defense has forced at least one turnover in their last 45 of 47 games dating back to the start of the 2015 season. Alabama has played quite a few true freshmen this year, and you can read my freshman report. I graded the freshmen, provide the grades for them each Friday. Freshmen that have played this year: Ayabi Anoma, Slade Bolden, Skylar DeLong at punter, Jerome Ford at running back, Josh Jobe at DB, Ali Cahoe, linebacker, Cameron Latou, linebacker, Jalen Moody, Patrick Surtain, who's been pretty much starting now, Jalen Waddell, who starts at punt returner, Xavier Williams at wide receiver, and Stephon Wynn saw some time last week. Most career starts for Alabama going into week 3. Ross Pierce-Bacher, offensive line, 45. This is his 4th game to start at center. Jonah Williams has started 32 games consecutively at offensive tackle. Damian Harris started 29 games, will be 30 on Saturday against Texas A&M. And Damian Harris has had some really good success against Texas A&M. Our team writer, Tony Sukalis, did a good job reporting on that earlier this week. I wanted to show you guys the Heisman. Let's see. All right, give me 1 second, because I wanted to show you guys. Give me 1 second. So every week before the games, I actually, with the help of Pro Football Focus, I compare the teams statistically, how they're doing from a head-to-head standpoint. So you're going to see on the screen right now. Here's Alabama's offense versus Texas A&M's defense. Okay, so the higher the grade, the better the player. As you can see, Tua with that outstanding grade of 92.6. In Texas A&M, if you scroll through, they're going to have a hard time, especially in the secondary area. Most of their defensive backs don't grade out very well. As you can see, 73.2, 67.7, 59.2 for Donovan Wilson at the strong safety position. Derek Tucker, their free safety, 62.1. And they're going against guys like Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. I think we're going to see something special from Henry Ruggs eventually. We're just kind of waiting to happen. Remember last year was a touchdown machine. I think Alabama's left side of the line very strong. Jonah Williams, the 89.2, going against some of Texas A&M's defensive linemen. I think it stacks up well for Alabama, at least to keep Tua clean in the pocket. As we scroll down and we look at Alabama's defense versus Texas A&M's offense, and actually Texas A&M's offense grades out very well. Their quarterback Kellen Mond has a good rating at 81.1, and I think what it's going to come down to is we look at the trenches. Alabama's defensive lineman could potentially have a field day. Quinnen Williams, 94.6. Eric McCoy at center, only a 70.8. Their left guard and their right guard don't grade out too high. And I think it's going to be tough for them to match up with Isaiah Buggs and Raekwon Davis. As our last caller, DJ, said, or a couple calls ago, he thinks the middle linebackers are going to have a good showing. And I would agree with that. I think it's time that, they really jumped up in that grading scale and did their thing. I'm still a really big fan of Dylan Moses. I think I just believe in him. I think he's really something special. As we scroll down, you can continue to look at the comparison. Look at the wide receivers going up against Alabama's secondary. The secondary for Alabama grades out really well compared to the rest of the nation. Deontay Thompson with that 94.0, and then Xavier McKinney at strong safety, 79.6. So I think when you look at the numbers, you can really see why Vegas likes Alabama as a 26-point favorite. More inside the numbers. This is actually just a comparison straight up. Alabama's offensive grade versus Texas A&M's offensive grade. And you can see A&M has a very good offensive grade of 91.8, but so did Ole Miss last week. I mean, Ole Miss had an outstanding offensive grade, and Alabama just completely shut them down. And you look at Alabama's defensive grade, right? 87.8. Now look at Texas A&M's defensive grade, 72.5, trying to deal with Alabama at 92.2. I'm a numbers guy. I believe in the numbers, and I think the numbers speak for themselves. I think straight up, you got to like that 26-point favorite for Alabama taking on A&M. I know A&M is a good team and they're well coached, but I just think Alabama at Bryant-Denny, if they really want to drop the hammer and they really want to run up the score, they really want to put it down, I don't know if there's anyone in college football right now that can hang with this Alabama team, right? And I think it all stems from the play of Tua. The guys up front, the guys on the left side of the line are doing a fantastic job. And here's one name that doesn't get enough credit, okay? You guys ready for it? Mike Locksley. Mike Locksley has done a fantastic job at Alabama as their offensive coordinator. He's done a great job developing these guys. Last year as a wide receivers coach, thought the wide receivers were on point. This year, I think he's done a really great job utilizing all the talent and feeding everybody on Alabama's team, because everybody certainly has been eating. And Tua has been distributing the ball. We've seen a lot of improvement from Jalen. No one can really stop this team through 3 weeks. And I think it's going to be the same story that we're going to be talking about on Sunday when we do our next show, right? I think it's going to be how Alabama use their explosive offense and hard-hitting defense to stop Texas A&M. I like that score by 4 touchdowns. It's probably crazy, but this is a special college football team. You guys know it. You guys are watching it with me, and I'll be interested to see if Alabama hits that 50-point mark. Can you imagine if they score 50 points in 4 consecutive games? It's not out of the question. This team scores at will. They have so many weapons, and then their defense is so opportunistic. I would like to see more improvement from their special teams game, right? I think Nick Saban said that as well. Skylar DeLong is a first-year kicker. He's a freshman, needs to get the ball out a lot quicker. If you watch some of the film, he's a little bit late getting out his kicks. And then it looks like Joseph Bolovas could be that guy that wins the kicker position. Leave the lines open for just a few more minutes, and then we'll catch you guys next time. 205-686-3604. Kyle Henderson coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Just a couple days out of game day as Alabama will take on number 22, Texas A&M. You guys can always email me at Kyle@BamaInsider.com for all your customer service-related questions. If you want to be a premium subscriber to BamaInsider.com, go on BamaInsider.com and look for the free 30 days. Also looking for a sponsor of the show. Sponsor of the show would be fantastic. You know, it'd be great to have your company logo up on the website. And we got another call coming in. All right, good evening. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who do I have on the line, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is David. I'm calling from Utah.
Oh, I like our west of the country callers. How you doing tonight? How's Utah treating you?
Doing good, man. Just, a little bit of forest fire, forest fires going up in the mountains, but
yeah,
other than that, doing good.
Yeah, when I lived out west, it's just something that you deal with. The droughts are tough to deal with, but the scenery is just so beautiful. Definitely miss it. You're on the line. What you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to give my prediction. I think I know for sure they're going to score over 50 points. I'm going to guess 55 to maybe 10. I'll give Texas A&M 10 points.
Wow, so like a 55-10? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think that'll be the score. But it's not going to be a close. Even though this is probably going to be a more tougher game than the previous games, I still think Alabama's offense is just too powerful for any team to really hang with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think as we look at this college football spectrum from a wider spectrum, is there any team in college football that has the potency, I wonder, to deal with Alabama? I kind of think I was watching Ohio State. Do you think Ohio State is potentially that team?
I don't even think Ohio State might be that. I mean, in my opinion, I think Ohio State has a really good offense as well. But I think Alabama's defense is just too strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Ohio State might end up being like Ole Miss. They're really, really good, but when they go against a tough opponent like Alabama, they'll just shut them down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look at the points that TCU put up on Ohio State, right? I mean, if TCU
exactly.
is scoring over 30 points on you, what's Alabama going to do? I mean, this offense is a lot better than TCU.
Yep, for sure.
Hey, well, I appreciate the call. Thanks for coming out from Utah again. I know you called before, so I sincerely appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, have a good
care.
night. Take it easy. All right, leave the line open for a few more minutes before I close it down. 205-686-3604. Catch up with you guys again on Saturday. Bring you guys the Nick Saban press conference along with player interviews after the game. We, of course, have all sorts of dialogue during the game on BamaInsider.com. And then on Sunday in the afternoon, probably in the later evening, we'll have another show. You guys can call in and we'll talk about Alabama and Texas A&M, kind of rehash what we learned from week 4. As I always do towards the tail end of the show, I want to say thank you to our members in the United States military, past or present. We certainly appreciate the great things that you did for this country. We greatly appreciate it. There's no better place to live than right here in the USA. And for everybody joining the show, we appreciate you guys to spread the word, thumbs up, like, follow us on Bama Insider, at Bama Insider on Twitter. Great show tonight. I appreciate the call-ins. It's always good to kick the ball back and forth with you guys to talk Alabama football. I know a lot of our subscribers are coming from all sorts of parts of the country, and it's great to get online and rap with you guys each Thursday and Sunday. Close out the show. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday and Saturday, and you guys be good people out there. Be good to each other. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is the BamaInsider.com live stream on YouTube. Catch you guys back on BamaInsider.com. Be good people. I'll see you guys. Take it easy.